Oh yeah, let's make my grandma's homemade apple pie. Yum! Alright, first thing we're going to do is we are going to sift together 2 cups of all-purpose flour and 1 teaspoon of salt. Just give that a sift into your bowl. Ta-da! Next, we're going to add 2/3 cup of vegetable shortening, or as my mother and grandmother used to call it, lard. And we're going to take our cutter, is what I call this, and we're just going to combine this. Break your vegetable shortening up into tiny little pieces into the flour. You just want to work your vegetable shortening in until it's a crumb-like consistency. And if you don't have one of these tools, you can use a fork. That works too. After we get that combined, we're going to add 2/3 cup of very cold water. And just give that all a good stir. You don't want to overwork your dough. You want to handle this as less as possible. So just stir that until it's combined. And then I'm going to work it with my hands a little bit. Just need it a little bit until it all comes together. And then I'm going to wrap this in some saran foil. Saran foil. I'm going to wrap this. That's a new invention I'm going to come up with, saran foil. I'm going to wrap it in saran wrap, and I'm going to stick it in the refrigerator to let it chill for a little while. Next, I'm going to take a Granny Smith apple. And once again, my mother and grandmother always used Granny Smith apples. They're nice and tart and firm. And I'm going to peel these. And then I'm going to slice them up into small pieces. So next, I've got my flour spread out on my counter, and I'm just going to flour my rolling pin. Good and covered so that it won't stick to your dough. Make sure your hands get a good coating of flour too. Then I have the pie dough that we made earlier, and I just tore that in half. I'm just giving it a little massage, spreading me flour back out. And then I am just going to flatten this out a little bit. Then I'm going to take my rolling pin and I am going to roll this into a circle. I'm going to attempt to roll this into a circle, as good a circle as I can get it rolled. After I got my pie crust rolled out, you want to get it pretty thin. I'm just rolling it in my rolling pin, and it's easier to set on top of your plate that way. Your pie plate, that is, rather than trying to pick it up off the counter with just your hands. And then just pat it down into your pan. Make sure you spray your pan. Just give it a little pat all the way around the edges too. And then just cut off some of that excess dough that was hanging over. I've just taken a couple teaspoons of flour and I'm spreading it around the bottom of my pie shell. This will keep some of your juices from making your pie crust soggy. And then just pour in your apples. Next, you want to take a stick of butter and just cut off a few pats of butter. I probably used half of the stick, and just place them randomly on top of your apple filling. Then I just sprinkle a little more cinnamon on the top. I just really love the flavor of the cinnamon. It makes it really good. After I rolled out my first crust, I then rolled the other half into the second crust so that we could put this on the top of our pie. I use the rolling pin to pick it up with again because I really like that technique. I think it makes it so much easier. Just trying to even it up. And then I'm just squishing it. I'm crimping the top. My pies are ugly, but they are delicious. So just do that all the way around. So now I've got a little bit of milk, and I've got my pastry brush, and I'm just covering all of the pie shell with the milk. Just make it, even, get it all on there good. After you've brushed the top of your pie with your milk, then just take a sharp knife and make some slits. Some slits into the top of your pie. Just here and there, even as you can get it. It doesn't really matter, as long as you put some in there. And then I top it with probably a tablespoon of sugar, and this will just make the top look nice and pretty and brown. Here's Sherman waiting for a piece of pie. He loves his sugary snacks, that's for sure. You gotta wait, buddy. So here is our baked pie, fresh from the oven. I'm gonna let this cool off for a little bit, and then I'm gonna cut me a slice. Alright, so I've cut myself a piece of this pie. I've let it cool off a little bit. Gonna give it a little taste here. I will definitely get out the vanilla ice cream and slap that on it. Ooh, let's try this. Oh, good old apple pie. Delicious. Give it a try. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Have a great day, people. Now let's see if it's Sherman approved. Alright, Shermy. Let's see if you like this pie. Oh, yes. Oh, you missed a bite. Here's a little piece of apple. Yep, it's definitely Sherman approved. Licking them lips.